For their first back-to-back victories this season. And we are about to have a minute's silence ahead of kick-off.
The Manchester City family, which is started by today, we remember Noel Bradley.
And you might be able to hear, beyond the spontaneous round of applause, a number of players who are no longer with us. You just see Roy Hodgson applauding as well from the Palace dugout. And a lovely gesture from Manchester City. And here we are now with a minute's silence. A moment to remember those players who are sadly no longer with us. It's another miserable afternoon, I'm afraid, in Manchester. Although when City beat Everton 3-1 last weekend, thankfully it's a lot warmer as we kick off with Manchester City lying in second place, 4 points behind unbeaten Liverpool, kicking off from left to right in their familiar light blue jerseys, white shorts and blue socks. And they will be lining up with what appears to be a 4-3-3 formation. Stones and Sterling coming into the starting lineup today, so they will line up with Ederson, a back four of Kyle Walker, Fabian Delph, Nicolas Otamendi and Aymeric Laporte. John Stones coming in is going to feature as a holding midfielder in place of Fernandinho. So in midfield, Stones, Bernardo Silva and Gundogan, they make up the three in midfield as City try to post their first attack now with Sterling coming back into the side, running into the area, but his cross goes outside the area, the shot comes in from Delph. And I'm just wondering if it got the slightest of touches from Gaeta as the shot screamed in from the left side of the box. Gaeta just got a touch, a corner for Manchester City on the left-hand side. I'll completely lineups for you very shortly. So already, with Gundogan to swing this one and then right-footed with his red boots. Palace already in trouble. He's flicked across the face of goal. Bounces inside the 6-yard box. Sterling, first outside the area, slips on the greasy surface. And Zaha can bring the ball away, much to the relief of Crystal Palace. So just completing the lineup for Manchester City with three up front, with Jesus, Sterling coming back into the starting 11 and Leroy Sané. For Crystal Palace, they welcome the return of both Tompkins and Zaha, who return from suspension. Schlupp back in the starting 11. He's played quite a few games as substitute in recent weeks, but makes his first start for 2 months. So Palace line up with Gaeta, a back four of Van Bissaka, Van Aanholt, James Tompkins and Mamadou Sakho in midfield. Milivojevic, MacArthur, Meyer, and Zaha, and Schlupp, I should say, and up front, Townsend and Zaha. City again, not surprisingly, coming forward inside the 3rd minute, still goalless. Drilled across by Delph, but it's a poor pass, and Palace clear, only temporarily, but at least they do get the ball inside the Manchester City half. As they bring the ball forward, still inside their own half, very, very slowly, with Laporte, who's played in every single Premier League game so far this season, has possession again, puts his foot on the ball, and it's rolled across the centre circle. Walker just has to come across and retrieve it, and it's all the way back to Ederson. Crystal Palace have this unenviable record at the Etihad, losing their last 6 meetings here. In fact, the last 2 meetings ended with a 5-0 win for Manchester City.
Scored against Chelsea a few years ago, and again they lost 3-1. They don't have a very good
Sterling
record.
City nudged off the ball by Schlupp, but play continues. Every outfield player for Palace is behind the ball.
Of course, they beat them in that season when they beat them to the top.
And it could just be one of those afternoons where City may just have to be patient. But I'm sure this is what they're used to against many opponents here at home. Swung out towards the far side as Sané just drifted into an offside position down the left-hand side. So coming into this game, Palace have lost 5 of their last 6 away from home, but we should remember that they actually held Manchester United to a goalless draw only last month at Old Trafford. I'm sure they'll be doing their best this afternoon to spoil the Christmas party here at the Etihad Stadium. Kicked out of play by Palace on the far side. Of course, Manchester City, the League Cup holders, have now reached the semi-finals when they will face League One opposition. As Palace come forward now, given away cheaply towards Zaha, running towards the edge of the box, is brought down by Otamendi, it seemed. But play is going to continue. The ball dropping over the head of Mamadou Sakho towards Jesus, running towards the right-hand edge of the area, near the byline now, tries to drill the ball in, wins a corner though. But just a few moments ago, Zaha almost cashed in on a casual pass from Stones. Running forward was Zaha, sidestepping away from Otamendi, came down, no free kick given. Free corner, I should say, for Manchester City there, with Gundogan racing both arms, swings the ball away from goal, headed away by Sakho, partially cleared on the volley inside the box by Zaha, back with Delph. And now with Walker inside the centre circle towards Stones. Had the chance just to trot forward, no more than a few yards, back towards Walker, and with Stones with a first time pass towards Bernardo Silva onto this near side. But Palace so far are doing their job, holding their shape extremely well. Fed out to the far side, down the left for Sané. Crossed in by Gundogan, drops inside the box. City pick up again. Silva, forced away from goal, finds Stones, swings it square towards Walker with a layoff, towards Otamendi, 35 yards out. City taking their time, most of the play, down the left-hand side towards Bernardo Silva, brought down by Van Bezica. He won it cleanly though, and it's another corner for Manchester City. Already their second of the game. Sane. It's a deeper cross beyond the halfway line. And it was a header at the back post by Otamendi, which may well have taken a clip off Gabriel Jesus, or was it in fact a Palace player? But it was certainly Otamendi. And it did come off MacArthur, so another corner for City. Again on the left, swung away from goal. It could be a chance for City. It was Schlupp who diverted the ball towards his own goal, but Palace do clear and break with Zaha. Doesn't quite break for him though. Walker wins it back near the halfway line. Palace again with a chance on the break. Sane gets himself in a tangle. And Townsend almost running into a cul-de-sac, finds Tompkins. Townsend making his 100th appearance for Palace this afternoon. Cleared down the middle by Gaeta, making his debut last weekend against Leicester City, pulling off that great save to deny Vardy from close range. Manchester City already enjoying 85% possession. Patrick Van Aanholt. Short towards Schlupp, gets Sacco. That's a really poor pass. Straight to Gundogan. Lays it short to Bernardo Silva. Overlapping is Sane inside the box from a tight angle, but it hits the side netting. But the one thing you cannot do playing Manchester City at the Etihad is to give the ball away, making unforced errors, because they have the quality to unpick you at will. And that time it was Gundogan laying the ball off to Sane, who shot from a tight angle, hit the side netting. But we've already seen a couple of good chances for Manchester City. Delph's long-range effort, which needed a very good save from Gaeta to tip the ball over the bar, and then just a few moments ago, Sane with that effort hitting the side netting. But Palace, to their credit, are trying to come forward when they can. Sometimes when you face a team as good as Manchester City, you just have to bide your time and wait for your opportunities. Laporte swinging the ball almost lazily out towards his right-hand side. Controlled well by Sterling. Towards Walker, down the inside right channel. His pass back to Sterling. Comes off Schlupp. A throw for Manchester City, more or less level with the Palace 18-yard line. Walker throwing it short towards Gundogan. Walker forced to get the ball right back inside the Manchester City half, and Ederson sweeping up, comes well outside his box to generate another attack for Manchester City. Sterling controls the ball beautifully. Thought of the cross up against two Palace players, runs towards the byline down this right-hand side, plays it back to Walker, has time to take a touch and control it towards Sane at the back post, tries to cushion it back towards Bernardo Silva, and Palace again doing their job at the back. But should it continue like this, it's going to be a very long afternoon for Crystal Palace. Sterling switching the ball right out towards the left-hand edge of the area. Controlled beautifully by Sane towards Delph. Swinging the ball in left-footed. Low, stooping header from Tompkins. Clears. It's beyond the head of Zaha, who goes down. A few whistles ring around the Etihad. Not pleased with Zaha. Play continues. Almost at walking pace. Just inside the Crystal Palace half. Still 0-0. and you're listening to TalkSport Live. Manchester City creating the best chances, not surprisingly, so far. And here they come again, Manchester City with Laporte with an angle low pass towards Bernardo Silva, helping it further out towards the left-hand flank. It's back with the Portuguese player again, linking up with Sane. Tries to jink his way past a couple of Palace players. Zaha once again goes down, but this time wins a free kick inside the centre circle. And I think Palace are going to be pretty happy with the start they've made to this game. They have been under pressure, conceding so far 4 corners, but they've pretty much handled everything that's come their way relatively well. And here they come in their traditional red and blue jerseys down the right hand side with Ambasika jostling for the ball with Delph. Delph gives away the throw. Now with Townsend, lovely sidestep, gets the ball away, almost threaded into the Man City penalty area by Saku, cleared by the City defence, out for a throw to Crystal Palace, who've gone without a league win away from home for more than 2 months now. In fact, that was the last time Wilfried Zaha scored in the Premier League. David Silva, one of the Manchester City players, looking on from the subs bench, recovering from a hamstring injury as a long pass, looking for the run of Sterling, doesn't quite work out. Goal kick for Crystal Palace. 15 minutes gone. Relatively quiet start to the game so far, even though Manchester City have dominated. A great clearance from Gaeta. Jesus spins and then works the ball out towards the inside left. Now out with Sane. Gets beyond Van Bissaka. Clipped into the area by Silva. Miscued volley by Sterling. Shot comes in from Silva. Cleared again by Palace. Here they come again though. Sterling with the half chance. Had time, but he miscued the volley. It was drifting wide. Then it fell to Silva. And his shot was charged down. Otamendi thought about coming forward, then stops his run. Has it again. Puts his foot on the ball. Short pass towards Stones. Now with Laporte. Again, looks around, comes forward a little more. Exchanging passes with Sane. Out with Delph. Only Zaha is in front of this City attack right now, halfway inside the Palace half, with Stones operating in this holding midfield position. Swung out towards Gundogan with the cushion layoff towards Delph. Sane still outside the Palace box. Sane lost the ball, wins it back, tries to almost dance his way between a couple of Palace players. The move breaks down and Palace come forward with Maya. Checks his run, then loses it near the halfway line, looks for the throw. And it looks as though it has gone for Palace. But a delightful clip into the area by Bernardo Silva. And Sterling near the penalty spot was unmarked and he screwed the volley wide. Delph wins it off Townsend and has Laporte as an option. Low angle Paul. Near the halfway line, City build again. Taking their time with Otamendi to Gundogan. Taps it to his right. Finds Sterling. Up against Maya. Spins. Finds Walker. Square. Infield to Stones. Now into the centre circle. Plenty of passes from Manchester City. It's now Sterling, thought about the shot, plays it short instead to Jesus. Then it's clipped into the area. Sterling goes down under a challenge. Running back was MacArthur. Andre Marriner saw nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But it was the lofted pass into the area by Gundogan. Sterling going down. Nothing given. Palace venture forward down the left-hand side with Van Aanholt towards Zaha. Lovely turn. Almost gets away from Walker. Still has it though. Then with a back flick. Finds Van Aanholt. Cut out though by Otamendi. The ball loops up and bounces out of play. Straight towards Pep Guardiola. Wearing a knee-length coat. And retrieves the ball quickly as it goes out of play once again. Straight towards Walker. Hands in pockets. Patrolling the edge of the dugout. 19 minutes gone. And in all truth, it's been quite subdued. Manchester City created 2 or 3 chances. But then again, Crystal Palace haven't really been overwhelmed. Roy Hodgson, even though he's rubbing his chin, looking slightly worried, I'm sure he must be quite pleased inside with the way Crystal Palace have started. Otamendi with his black gloves. Short-sleeved, forced back towards Laporte. As the cries of "Come on City" ring around the Etihad, I think they want to see more of a response from the team lying second. Gundogan towards Sterling, first time ball. And Palace at the moment just perfectly happy for City to have the ball where it is, well outside the box. Led by Bernardo Silva, first time cross by Sane. Palace clear, only towards Delph. Short pass out towards Sane, back with Delph. Jesus and Gundogan stood near the edge of the penalty box. Now with Sterling running in field. Swung it by Walker. It's headed away though by MacArthur. It's going to be another corner for Manchester City. Their 5th, coming up to the halfway point in the first half. It was just beyond the head of Bernardo Silva. The referee actually hasn't given it. Clearly came off the head of MacArthur. But it is in fact a goal kick for Crystal Palace. So still only 4 corners for Manchester City in this first half. Townsend towards Maya. Van Aanholt as Townsend just has to bring the ball under control. Tried to release Zaha straight through to Edison. City tried to show a little more urgency. Now with Silva running with the ball for at least 50 yards. Finds Delph on the overlap. Lovely disguised pass towards Sane on the left-hand area of the box. Delph attempting a couple of step-overs. And MacArthur this time does his job extremely well. Guides the ball out for a goal kick. So we now have crossed the halfway point in the first half. Still goalless at the Etihad between Manchester City and Crystal Palace. You're listening to Talk Sports coverage of Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Tweet us during the game at Live Sports FM. But don't forget, you can download the Premier League review show every Thursday ahead of the Premier League weekend. A few groans ring out as Zaha just won the ball for a moment, only for City to retrieve, but just signs of a little displeasure around the Etihad at the moment. Silva running towards the left-hand edge of the area just as Sane was about to cross the ball first time. Andros Townsend intercepts. It will be a corner this time, and that's met with quite a few ironic cheers. So City winning their 5th corner. Sane to take this. Laporte, Otamendi, both joining the attack, stood inside the box. Bernardo Silva stood near the near post and swung in, away from goal. Flicked across goal by Bernardo Silva. Almost falls for Otamendi. Schlupp gets to it first though. And Zaha, lovely turn. Swings the ball out just beyond the halfway line. Doesn't quite find Townsend, and racing back was Leroy Sane. He was the furthest man back for City to play the ball back to Ederson. It was Ederson who played such a crucial role for Manchester City when these two sides last met, because at Selhurst Park last year he produced an injury time penalty save, denying Luka Milivojevic. Until that game, City began the season winning their first 16. Long ball doesn't quite find Sterling down this right hand side. Falls for Walker though, looks up and drills the ball out beautifully towards Sane. Cutting in from the left hand side, has a little space, drills the ball into the area, volleyed away though. Only towards Sane, drops invitingly for him, but he shoots straight at Gaeta. Still 0-0 between Manchester City and Crystal Palace after 25 minutes. Sane from that central position, 25 yards out, as the ball fell invitingly for him. Struck it straight at the Spanish keeper, who kept out Delph with that long-range effort only in the opening 5 minutes. Gundogan exchanging passes with Walker, pings the ball out towards the left-hand side, towards Sane. Delph 10 yards outside. Oh, brilliant goal, Walker! With the in-swinging cross straight towards Gundogan, totally unmarked, unpicking the Palace defence, and his downward header is beyond Gaeta. Well, Palace were doing ever so well holding Manchester City at bay until that delicious cross from Delph, who controlled it and swung the ball in. Gundogan inside the 6-yard box, plants the downward header, as I say, completely unmarked beyond Gaeta. Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 0. And that will really infuriate Roy Hodgson, because until that moment, despite 2 or 3 chances for Manchester City, Palace were relatively untroubled. But it was the easiest of opportunities for Gundogan to find the net. And Manchester City lead now by 1-0. And that means that in every single league game at home this season, they have scored inside the first 30 minutes. Gundogan with the all-important goal then for Manchester City. Looking for what will be their 10th win in a row at home this season in the league. Delph tries to inject a little pace down the left-hand side towards Sané with a back flick. Doesn't quite come off, but still finds Bernardo Silva. As once again, Palace take up their usual positions, sitting behind the ball with Laporte. And all of a sudden, the Manchester City fans are going to be a lot happier with that opening goal. Sterling controls and lofts the ball infield from the right-hand side, finds Walker, takes no chances, back towards Otamendi, who has it again, points out with his right hand and plays it short to Laporte. The City just stroking the ball around, exuding so much confidence. Delph trying to pick out the run of Sané, controls it near the byline, tries to swing the ball in, but wins a corner. And the game really has taken on a different complexion completely now that Manchester City have broken the deadlock in this game. Sané swings the ball in towards the near post, straight towards Gaeta though, diving low, unchallenged, gathers. So Manchester City, as things stand, will cut the lead at the top to 1 point, I should say. It's 4 points at the moment. It's now Milivojevic, short, across the halfway line. Finds Zaha, gets the foul from Gundogan. So a free kick for Crystal Palace. Doesn't get them very far though. Manchester City piling forward down this right-hand side with Sterling. He's got Jesus in the middle. Peeling away was Gundogan. Gundogan allows the ball to run through. Doesn't find Sterling. Gundogan almost has it again. Wins the ball and falls on his backside. Palace retrieve and clear through Schlupp. Pokes it towards the centre circle. A back flick from Townsend. Only finds Bernardo Silva. With a neat turn. Finds Delph. And once again, we almost revert to a default setting with Manchester City camped inside the Palace half, stroking the ball around, looking for the killer pass when the opportunity arises. Now with Stones looking comfortable in this midfield holding role. Saku clears with an outstretched leg towards Schlupp, lofts one down the right-hand side, finds Zaha, tries to cut away from Laporte. Laporte sticks out his leg, wins it, only falls towards Townsend to Milivojevic. Now with Schlupp on the edge of the area, shoots! Oh, it's an equaliser for Palace! Schlupp has scored from the left-hand edge of the area. Well. 32 minutes gone at the Etihad, and Crystal Palace have equalised. And it all started with Zaha tussling for the ball with Laporte. Milivojevic tapping the ball square across the edge of the 18-yard box. And there was Schlupp getting around Walker, striking it through his legs and beyond Ederson into the bottom right corner. Well, I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. 1-1. And Schlupp, the goal scorer for Palace, after 33 minutes, but he took it ever so well. So essentially, Manchester City have to start all over again. And their run without a clean sheet continues now, because that's 8 in all competitions where they failed to keep a clean sheet. City come again. Central position. Walker, 35 yards out, tries his luck, slams it straight into the chest of Schlupp, the goal scorer. Schlupp actually only scored a couple of weeks ago against Crystal Palace. And here he has it with the black gloves towards Zaha, running forward over the halfway line. Only has Meyer in support. Runs into Walker, then spins, gets away from Walker, then goes down and wins a free kick. In the pouring rain here at Manchester. Zaha, making a nuisance of himself, was clearly tugged back by Walker, who then stuck out his leg and brought down the striker for Crystal Palace. So have this free kick, it swung into the area. Headed away by Stones. Still bouncing on the edge of the area. Shot comes in. Oh, that is an absolute beauty from Andros Townsend on the volley. 30 yards out. Left-footed. Palace are ahead. An absolute screamer from Andros Townsend that has brought this game to life. The cross swung in by Van Aanholt, partially cleared by City. Hesitancy at the back. As swing as you like, left-footed. It fell for Andros Townsend. And he rifles it into the roof of the net, giving Ederson no chance. What a goal! Two goals for Palace in the space of 2 minutes. Well, just looking at Andros Townsend, he just had a look on his face as if to say, I don't quite believe what has just happened. And neither does Pep Guardiola. Wearing a thick hat now to protect his head from the pouring rain. Well, it all went according to plan up to the half-hour mark when Gundogan gave City the lead, but since then, goals from Gundogan and Townsend have given Palace the lead with less than 10 minutes before half-time. Half cleared by Townsend, out towards Delph. Short pass down the line towards Sane. Heavy challenge coming in from Van Bissaka. Free kick for Manchester City. Just in from the touchline. So Manchester City, for the first time in the league this season, are behind at home. They have not experienced this in any Premier League game this season at the Etihad. They are losing at home. Gundogan will swing this one right into the area. Plenty of men forward, you would expect for Man City. And it comes! It flashes across the face of goal. I think it came off one of the Man City players. It may well have been John Stones going up for the ball as it grazed off the top of his head. In fact, he might have missed it completely. Seemed to duck under the ball as it came in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The weather at the moment is absolutely filthy. Pouring rain. But it'll be the Palace fans, no doubt, singing in the rain. They won't believe what they're seeing at the moment. And I don't think the Man City fans will either. Sterling cutting in from the right-hand side. Shaw in field towards Stones. getting away from Zaha, finds Walker, comes forward, sidesteps the challenge from Zaha. Now squared towards Laporte. Thought about the shot, then shot towards Sterling. Pokes the ball out to Bernardo Silva. The low cross towards the near post was easily gathered by Gaeta. All in green with short sleeves. Well, this will surely send shockwaves around the country at the moment. And the rain at the moment is absolutely unrelenting. Palace with the throw. Less than 6 minutes to go before half-time. Flicked forward by Schlupp. Only onto the chest of Stone to rocking back clears. Right-footed over the halfway line for a throw to Crystal Palace. Well, you're never going to tire of this goal from Crystal Palace. When you're making your 100th appearance for the club, what a way to celebrate. And I doubt very much Andros Townsend will have scored a better goal than that in his career. Cleared long by Gaeta, reaches the halfway line. Up with a towering header was Laporte. Bounces kindly now for Bernardo Silva as Sane looks for the ball, collects now, swings it in left-footed. Cleared though, only partially by Milivojevic. Back towards Silva, across though is Van Bissaka and clears. Bending the ball towards the halfway line with the cushion header though. Is Otamendi, collects again from Laporte with the angle run. Sweeps the ball out towards the right-hand side. Come on, City, they cry. Can City get back on level terms before half-time? Sterling stumbles, still finds Gundogan, lifts the ball out towards Sane, peeling away with the cushioned layoff, gets another corner for Manchester City. 7 corners in the opening 40 minutes, but they're losing 2-1. Otamendi inside the box once again, swung in, he's flicked across the area, cannons off Sacco and out for another corner. Palace this time enjoying a fat slice of luck. That could have gone absolutely anywhere. Sane again will swing this one out. Here it comes again towards the near post. It's poor, doesn't beat the first man Townsend. Falls straight towards Sane again. Gets away from Townsend, looks for the free kick as he almost falling towards his knees. And Palace clear, but it's still going to end inside the Palace half. With Laporte, low ball towards Sane, kills it. In towards Gundogan. Gave City the lead inside the first 30 minutes, only for Palace to stun them with 2 goals in 2 minutes. Again, City with the slow build-up. Otamendi puts his foot on the ball, plays it back towards Walker, looks to his left, then he's right, isn't sure what to do, then it's towards the edge of the box and finds Silva running down the right hand side towards Sterling, cuts in, gets away from a couple of players, almost bursts into the area, only for Meyer to intercept, and now Milivojevic stumbles as he is tackled from behind from Gabriel Jesus, who hasn't had impression at all. Pep Guardiola with his hands clasped might not be too sure what to make of what he's seeing so far. Whereas Roy Hodgson just almost looked as though he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. But his side are leading 2-1. Schlupp scoring the equaliser. Pass intercepted by Walker. Shrugs off Zaha. Still has to contend with Zaha, who throws Walker to the ground. Well, that's a rather obvious free kick to give away. Rain, by the way, is still very heavy. There's now Laporte coming over the halfway line, finds Jesus. He's knocked off the ball. Palace come forward now, possibly with Maya. Allows the ball to run out towards Zaha, shielding the ball away from Sterling. He's almost shoved from pillar to post. Then goes in late on Gundogan. And Zaha, with a big smile on his face, pleading his innocence. And he's been booked. Well, it all began with Zaha backing into Sterling. Then he was pushed into Gundogan and then went very late on Gundogan. Almost with his back. The first booking of the game. Last minute of the half. And the sensational news is that Manchester City are losing by 2-1 at the Etihad. Delph waits, then sprays the passing field towards Otamendi. Has at least 10 yards to run into. Strokes it out towards Sane with the header. Doesn't find Bernardo Silva, but they will settle for the throw. Instead, 2 minutes of added time. City losing. Walker almost seemed to miscue his pass. Still finds Delph. Swings a high one in towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Patrick Van Holt allowed the ball to drop. Now it's with Sterling inside the area. Across, so is Maya. Concedes the corner, which are really racking up. Gundogan is going to swing this one in, so this could possibly be the last chance of the half for Manchester City. Otamendi, Sane, Laporte, all inside the box, waiting for this. Gundogan, flicked away by Sacco. Great header from the central defender. Falls for Zaha, waits for support, tries to thread the ball down the right-hand side towards Delph. Goes down under the challenge from Townsend. Back though with City, inside the centre circle. Swung up by Otamendi, missed by Zaha towards Sane with a really high cross which bounces on the right-hand edge of the area. An acrobatic clearance from Maya, yet to score for Palace, joining the club on a free from Schalke. Here comes City again. Squared by Delph towards Stones, picks out Sterling up against Maya and Van Aanholt. The cross by Walker is quite a deep one. It's too deep though for Gaeta, who catches the ball and then drops to the ground. And that will probably be the final piece of action we're going to see at the end of this very interesting half of football. And that is the half-time whistle. Almost met with stunned silence at the Etihad, because Manchester City are trailing 2-1 at the break, and it began well enough for them. Delph had an early shot that was tipped over by Gaeta. Sane struck a close-range effort that hit the side netting, and then Gundogan, completely unmarked, 6 or 7 yards out, gave them the lead, only for Palace to score 2 goals in 2 minutes through Schlupp, and then an absolute screamer from Townsend on the volley, 25 yards out into the roof of the net. Join us later for second half commentary, but now it's time for the halftime show from Stamford Bridge with John Anderson and Paul.
The last few days by our former Premier League winger Matthew Etherington. Adrian Clark's with us. Chris Iwelumo, fresh from the gym.
Subscribe to the podcast today at talksport.com and then hear every kick on Premier League Live.
Oxlade-Chamberlain goes down, but he still finds Salah, who makes it 2 to Liverpool. 1 chance, 1 goal. Number 20 for the Egyptian magicians.
Listen to the show on talksport.com.
Welcome back. 0-0 between Chelsea and Leicester City at half-time, but there have been plenty of goals in our other 3 o'clock kickoffs.
A great strike for Redmond. The opening goal of the game. It's one attack, and it's 1 goal for Southampton.
Shooting opportunity for Brooks. He's still going. Brooks! Oh, that's brilliant! Absolutely brilliant from David Brooks. He bided his time. He made himself half a yard. He turned the ball onto his left foot, and bang! He beats Matthew Ryan with a clinical finish from outside the box into the corner. It's Bournemouth that have the lead.
Oh, brilliant goal! Walker with the in-swinging cross straight towards Gundogan. Totally unmarked.
Here is Pereira inside the penalty area, trying to play 1-2. Pereira, can he get on the end of the ball? Is that a penalty? Yes, it is. It's a penalty to the Hornets. A foul on Pereira inside the penalty area. It's Deeney against Fabianski. Upsets Deeney and scores.
Midway inside the Leicester half, it's a mistake by Maguire, and Hazard hits the crossbar.
Schlupp on the edge of the area, shoots. Oh, it's an equaliser for Palace. Schlupp has scored. Still bouncing on the edge of the area, shot comes in. Oh, that is an absolute beauty from Andros Townsend on the volley. 30 yards out, left-footed. Palace are ahead.
Ings back inside to Redmond. Ings to collect. Oh, there's a penalty. It's got to be a penalty, and it is. Waiting for the referee's whistle is the Southampton number 9. Ings right-footed and scores. Trickles it into the back of the net. Southampton double their lead.
Well, it looks like the action's happening elsewhere, Paul, to be honest. I mean, to sum up this game, in terms of the opening 45 minutes, Chelsea have hit the crossbar through Hazard. Kepa has made a fantastic save to deny Ndidi, but not a great deal else to get excited about.
No, there's been nothing to get excited about. I think if you're a Leicester fan, you'll say, yep, you're pleased to be 0-0, but you'll still say you'd like to see a little bit of adventure from your side. They haven't done anything positive really going forward. You'd be upset as well, the fact of where your top striker's playing at this moment in time as a defensive centre forward. That's what he's doing. So it hasn't been great for Leicester, but the only thing that's come out of it is the fact of Leicester have gone in at half-time 0-0.
But they can't surely maintain this, can they? They've been so deep, and had Hazard found the net rather than the crossbar with that shot, it would be 1-0. It's a risky tactic, isn't it, to try against a team like Chelsea at home?
It is in certain ways, but if Leicester carry on what they're doing and Chelsea carry on the way they're trying to play, then there's every chance this game is going to finish at 0-0. They've got to show a little bit more, Chelsea, just in what they're doing, because they're showing no purpose or anything at all, no desire to go and want to score a goal. So maybe Sarri has to make a big change at half-time to show his intent, to show the fans and say to the players, we want to win this game. At the moment, they're not really. They think it's going to happen. The one thing I've learned in football, more so now, but maybe because since I've stopped playing, is that you have to go out there and earn the right. You have to go out there and make it happen. And Chelsea are not really making it happen at this moment in time.
Well, the big story today so far, Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 2, Paul. Ilkay Gundogan put City ahead on 27 minutes, and you think, well, this is going as you'd expect. Jeffrey Schlupp, well-taken goal to make it 1-1. And then Andros Townsend, we've just been shown this goal on our monitors, Paul. It is one of the best volleys you will ever see. He's about 40 yards out, and he has deliberately and purposefully smashed it into the... It's an astonishing goal.
Yes, it is, and I don't think many people will be surprised it's Townsend that's done it. Everyone knows the quality he's got. The only problem that has caused him over his career is the fact there's been no consistency. You see him at Palace, and he's frustrating, but he has got quality. He had that stint at Spurs and got him in the England squad, and he seemed to be doing everything. He needs to add consistency because he is a very, very good footballer.
Well, that'll be an incredible result if that stays the same. Elsewhere, West Ham United 0, Watford 1, a Troy Deeney penalty on the half hour. Bournemouth 1, Brighton 0. David Brooks got the goal on the south coast. Huddersfield 0, Southampton 2. Ralph Hasenhüttl's team revitalised since he arrived. Nathan Redmond and a Danny Ings penalty. Goalless between Newcastle and Fulham. Arsenal 3-1 winners over Burnley in the game which finished earlier. Paul's old side, Manchester United, under the stewardship of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, go to Solskjaer's former club Cardiff at 5:30 local time with Tom Rennie and Reece Weston. Let's hear the views of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Neil Warnock ahead of that big game.
Football's evolving, of course, and the gaffer was he was in charge of more or less the whole club. Football is developing. The structure of the club has developed. The power is with the manager. He picks the team. He picks the tactics, the strategy, the philosophy is in these walls. That legacy is more important than any player power. Because I have to say, being a part of Man United, being a Man United player, it's a privilege. And of course, I think all of them wants to succeed here.
I think it's probably the worst time you can play. So many people wanting to prove certain aspects, of the game. So I think it'll be extremely difficult. We've been very unlucky with our home games, really. We played Leicester after that terrible. What happened to the chairman. Then we play Southampton with a new manager. Now we play Manchester United with a new manager. So, by my reckoning, I reckon Pochettino will be in charge in the next 2 weeks because we've got them on New Year's Day.
I do like certain aspects of Neil Warnock. That's quite an amusing comment. He does have this gallows humour, doesn't he? But Solskjaer, will he be nervous? Will he be confident? What sort of guy is he? Will he be confident that they can turn it around quickly, or will he be going into it slightly hesitantly?
He's going to be nervous. It's there. Everyone's got that nervous energy going through him. You can't do without it. It's impossible not to have it as a player or a manager. He's going to be on edge. He wants to make a point. He knows the way he's going to be accepted when he walks out there by the travelling fans. I'm sure Cardiff fans are going to have a go at him as well because they see him as a person who took them down. So there's going to be positives and there's going to be negatives. The one thing he knows that whatever he goes and does, he's still going to be appreciated and respected by the Manchester United fans. He's got very, very good players there to work with. Yep. And he's going to go there, first of all, and he's done most of the week, he's put a smile on their face. Get them back to smiling, enjoying coming to work, and then he's hoping that bit will take them over the line against Cardiff City today.
Well, that's what he's promised to do. We'll wait and see. We've got that one coming up live for you, but first, we've got a whole of the second half with Chelsea up against Leicester City. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League preview show with Talk Sport.
Sanchez wants runners. There's 6 players on the edge of the area to aim for. One is Smalling! Unbelievable scenes at the Etihad Stadium. It's 3-2 to Manchester United.
Talk Sport's Premier League experts give their views ahead of the weekend's action.
Southampton struggling down the bottom. We're joined by a survivor of their great escape team in 1999, Francis Bernali. Former Bluebirds defender Danny Gabidon joins us on the Premier League preview show.
Subscribe to the podcast today at talksport.com and then hear every kick on Premier League Live.
Oxlade-Chamberlain goes down, but he still finds Salah, who makes it 2 to Liverpool. One chance, one goal, number 20 for the Egyptian magicians.
Listen to the show on talksport.com.
Go to talksport.com and sign up now to play the free TalkSport Predictor game. Predict the results of the English Premier League games this season for the chance to win top-flight weekly prizes. From the Gunners getting away goals at Anfield to epic finishes at the Etihad. Click talksport.com/predictor and register now for the chance to go top of the table in the ultimate football fan tournament. The TalkSport English Premier League Predictor game. Available online and for free at talksport.com/predictor.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered. TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live. Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
A line of bodies along the edge of the 6-yard box. Ericsson just rifles it in, and Harry Kane is there to head in almost on the goal line. More Premier League goals in a calendar year than any other player in history.
Every game is covered. Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Edge of the box is Solanke. Through to Mo Salah, who scores! Number 32! Mo Salah, the record breaker for Liverpool.
kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live. Brought to you by TalkSport Live.
There's more to life than football, money and fun. Well, not much. Kick off the new season with TalkSport's £1 million Predictor Game.
Register now at talksport.com/predictor and play for free throughout the season.
Play it in the van. Play it on the can. Play it with your gran.
Win £1 million sterling.
It's the biggest prize in the history of TalkSport.
The TalkSport £1 million Predictor Game. Players must be 18 or over. See talksport.com/predictor for full conditions.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Chelsea against Leicester City from Stamford Bridge. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Manchester United and England fullback, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. Well, Paul and I weren't particularly inspired by what we saw in the first half, it has to be said. It was pretty turgid stuff. Chelsea almost took the lead through Eden Hazard, who hit the crossbar with an angled drive, but then at the other end, Kepa Arrizabalaga made a very good save to keep out a wonderful shot by Wilfred Ndidi. So it is 0-0 at half-time. Leicester haven't shown a great deal of ambition, it has to be said, but then Chelsea probably haven't asked enough questions of them. There are no changes to the two teams at the interval. So we're, as we were, Chelsea all in blue, Leicester in a sort of peculiar grey get-up as we get underway for the second half. The home fans will consider it a poor result if Chelsea drop points against a team who they've beaten in 5 of the last 7 encounters, and the other 2 were draws. In fact, Leicester haven't won in 8 visits to Stamford Bridge. The last time they won here was 2-0 in 2000 when Muzzy Izzet and Stan Collymore were the scorers for Leicester. The two teams as they were at the start. Chelsea, Kepa in goal. Azpilicueta, Rudiger, Luis and Alonso are the back four. The midfield is Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic. Pedro, Hazard and Willian up front. For Leicester, Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Ricardo, Morgan, Maguire and Chilwell is the back four. The holding two are Papi Mendy and Wilfred Ndidi. Hamza Chowdhury, the surprise inclusion on the right side of a midfield three with James Maddison and Mark Albrighton, and up front making his 200.
Welcome back to the Etihad Stadium. You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Manchester City against Crystal Palace. I'm your host, Bernard Chizzy, and you're listening to Premier League Live. And what a half we have just had as we are about to get underway. City very much in uncharted territory coming into the second half, because for the first time in the league this season, their home record is under serious threat against a side that has struggled to win away from home for more than 2 months. Crystal Palace hold the initiative, leading by 2 goals to 1. Not only have they had the nerve to score, they had the nerve to score while they were behind and now have the lead. So we're underway, and it doesn't appear as though we've had any changes since half-time, although I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see one Sergio Aguero making an appearance during the second half if things don't change very, very soon. So the line-ups then, as Palace just mop up a City attack, and I'll just break for a moment because here they come down the right-hand side. Palace with Milivojevic short towards Van Aanholt. He has Zaha as an option, waits on the ball with a few tricks, then with a short passing field to Maya, goes down, seems to be clutching his shin. City try to come forward then into the middle. It's beyond Van Bissaka. Now with Jesus allowing the ball to run. towards the left-hand edge of the area. Shot towards Delph. Thought about the cross. Turns in field. Goes down under a challenge. Play continues, but Stones is forced to play the ball back to Laporte, charging forward. And here he has it again. Down the inside left. Almost an intelligent pass. Finds Sane. Good defending from Palace on the edge of the area. A frenetic start, as you would expect from the home side. Bernardo Silva turning inside, cutting onto his right foot, and then his left. Short to Delph. City are forced to back out halfway inside the Palace half. Angle pass from Walker. Almost finds Sterling, who does win it. Gets between a couple of Palace players. Lays it short now towards Walker. Gives the ball away though to Maya. Now he's got Zaha ahead of him, running over the halfway line, and finds him. But he has no support. Holds play up, plays it short to Maya. Palace are just happy to hold the ball, but then they give it away. So let me give you the lineup, starting with Manchester City. Ederson, then a back four of Walker, Delph, Otamendi and Laporte. With three across the midfield, Stones, Silva and Gundogan. Up front, Jesus, Sterling and Sane. As the ball is pinged right across towards the far side, doesn't quite reach Sane. And Walker is back for Manchester City. So Palace lining up with still a 4-4-2 formation. With Gaeta, a back four of Van Bissaka, Van Aanholt, James Tompkins and Sacco, Milivojevic, MacArthur, Maya and Schlupp in midfield, Zaha and Townsend. The scorer of that wonderful second goal for Palace, making up the two-man attack. Palace then defending. The goal to our left in their red and blue jerseys. The cross swung in, charged down by Townsend, diverted for a corner. Their 10th for Manchester City. Well, it looks like Pep Guardiola has already seen enough after 4 minutes of the second half, because he is going to bring on Aguero for Otamendi. Aguero then with a simple mission: score some goals. Sane raising both arms, swinging the ball away from goal. Header comes and it flashes just past the post from Laporte. No more than 10 yards out. Stuck out his head inside a crowded area. He seems to be climbing over Tompkins. And he went a good 3 or 4 yards wide anyway. First chance of the half falling for Manchester City. Aguero up front, fighting for the ball now with his bleached blonde hair, but it's with Zaha now. Has space towards Van Bissaka, running towards the right-hand edge of the area, up against Delph. Delph puts in a challenge. It's swung in low. It comes off the inside of the box from Townsend. Then Mike goes down under a challenge. Penalty for Palace. This is incredible, because Palace are now on the verge of scoring their third goal. Caught late by Walker. So a penalty for Palace. Milivojevic, and he doesn't miss many of these. Already 4 to his name this season. 3 from the spot. Here it comes. He beats Ederson. Manchester City 1. Palace 3. And collectively, the Palace players run towards their fans. Milivojevic scoring his 4th from the spot. Right-footed. Ederson way. But he couldn't keep it out. And with Palace's first attack of the half, they have now extended their lead for Manchester City. For Crystal Palace, I should say. 51 minutes gone. And there's almost a resigned look on Pep Guardiola's face while he's having a conversation with Mikel Arteta. So that penalty from Milivojevic after 51 minutes. As Palace have some defending to do with Van Aanholt, and that'll mean a lot for Milivojevic, who had that penalty against the sides last December, saved by Ederson. Today he scored. Palace now with a 2-goal lead to defend. Who, in all honesty, could see this coming? Wayward pass from Walker falls at least 5 yards behind Sané down this left-hand side. And Manchester City, if they are to underline their credentials as title challengers, if they're really going to show what they're made of, it will come today. 3-1 down against very much an unfancied Crystal Palace side who have really struggled away from home. Their last win was at Huddersfield on the 15th of September when Zaha scored on that occasion. They've failed to score in their previous 5 games here at the Etihad, and yet today they've already scored 3. Clipped in by Bernardo Silva, straight towards Keita, racing off his line ahead of Jesus. Well, at the moment, this is the shock of the day. Flicked backwards by Laporte. Back towards Stones, who seems to be playing more at the back now in his familiar role. Laporte crossing the halfway line, has Gundogan available. Stutters and plays it back square towards Laporte. Now with Delph down this right hand side. Infield towards Gundogan in a central position. Has Sterling peeling away in space, controls it up against Van Aanholt, running towards the byline, won't keep it in play though. Goal kick for Crystal Palace. Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 3 after 55 minutes. Just looking at a replay of the foul that led to the Palace penalty. Even though Walker was reckless with the challenge, I'm not sure if he actually caught Meyer before the midfielder for Palace actually went down. But to the naked eye, in real time, it certainly did look like a clear-cut decision. One to be reviewed, I think. It's as though the rain might have relented somewhat as Palace defend well inside their own half. Gundogan square to Bernardo Silva, 35 yards out, with Delph to Sterling, turns full circle, back with Delph, cutting in, then back towards Laporte. City aren't really going anywhere. In fact, they're being forced back towards the halfway line, where Stones has at least a little room to come forward. And now Delph with a clever flick, but it's not so smart because Townsend is now powering forward. He's got Zaha to his left. Townsend slips, turns, still has it, gives it away to Aguero, who we just have not seen so far. Pokes it towards Sane. His pass is short. He still finds Sterling. Now with Bernardo Silva through the middle. Jesus inside the box. Shot touched down though by Tompkins. And then Jesus gets a clear push in the back from Van Bissaka on this near side. A reckless free kick to give away. Jesus just inside the box, looking to shoot at the near post, blocked by Tompkins. But Man City have a free kick with Gundogan. Just a yard or two in from the left-hand side, raising both arms against a one-man wall, swings it in, flicked away by Palace. Falls towards Delph with an upward header. Cleared by Tompkins inside the area. Winning it though is Schlupp for Palace. And it drops invitingly for Van Aanholt. Lays the ball off to Maya. Forced to backtrack. Links up well with Van Aanholt. Now as Palace break over the halfway line with Zaha. The pass is away from Schlupp, and that move for Palace breaks down. Here's Delph turning away from McCarthy towards Sterling down the inside left. Palace holding a line on the edge of the 18-yard area. Should be cleared by Van Aanholt. Oh, he almost allowed Jesus to creep in behind him. Almost half a chance, possibly for City to get back into the game. Palace cannot afford to switch off. Not in this position that they are currently in. Laporte thinks of the cross, goes for goal, but he drags it wide. It's still Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 3 as we come up to the hour mark. And you're listening to Talk Sports coverage at the Etihad on what could be a pivotal day in the race for the Premier League title. Liverpool already holding a 4-point lead following their 2-0 success at Wolves last night. Manchester City's 100% home record seriously under threat as Zaha wins the ball. Now with Maya cutting in, left hand side of the box, drills it across the face of goal, but there was nobody to attack it inside the 6-yard box. And Palace, even with 3 goals, have got so much confidence they believe they can score more. Andre Marriner, meanwhile, just wants to have a word with Andros Townsend. And it may just do with Townsend possibly just holding the ball, possibly too much, trying to waste a little time perhaps, but it's got to be a drop ball as the rain intensifies once again. Marriner with a sideways glance towards the assistant referee, and the drop ball ends with Townsend kicking the ball out for a Manchester City goal kick. Well, in fact, looking at it again, the cross from Maya didn't even go out for a goal kick in the first place. One of the ball boys behind the goal got a touch to the ball before it went out, and that led to the drop ball. But play is finally back underway. Ball boy, understandably, just wants to get on with it. from a Manchester City perspective. Less than half an hour to go. As Manchester City bring on one of the players they've really missed over the last few weeks. Kevin De Bruyne comes on for Fabian Delph after 61 minutes. So we've already seen Sergio Aguero come on after half-time. De Bruyne has now joined him after 61 minutes. And in his first start since his injury life, De Bruyne actually scored that opening goal against Leicester in the quarter-finals of the League Cup. Sane doesn't quite get away from Schlupp. It's now Townsend barging into Sane, going for a 50-50. Townsend wins the free kick. Well, what a day this is going to be for Townsend to remember, especially should Palace win. He has been terrific today. Not just for that goal during the first half, striking it from at least all of 30 yards, but he could have scored a second when his header inside the box came off the post, and that led to a penalty only moments later. Schlupp jumping for the ball with Walker. De Bruyne with his first touch, deep inside his own half, finds Sterling, pokes it in field, finds Gundogan, has time to run over the halfway line. He's got Silva ahead of him, shot towards De Bruyne, swings it out towards the far side. It's overhit though, it was meant for Aguero, and it goes out for a throw on the far side. Well, Manchester City are in a hurry to make another switch, and it's going to be Riyad Mahrez. And how many strikers are we going to see up front for Manchester City? Sane back towards Laporte. Good ball, finds Gundogan. Now with Sane, low angle ball out towards his left hand side. Jesus swings the ball in, it's above the head of Aguero and straight towards Aguita, who, apart from that very early save to deny Fabian Delph inside the first 5 minutes, hasn't really had too much to do. Since half time, Manchester City have only conjured up a header from Laporte that went well wide. City are still reeling. 3-1 down, 64 minutes gone at the Etihad. Here's Schlupp bursting inside the area, goes down. Nothing given. Laporte short towards Sane, still inside the City half. Gundogan switching play out towards the right hand side with De Bruyne. Towards Jesus, now with De Bruyne, infield to Gundogan, central position, 30 yards out. Laporte finding Sane, claims up handball against Townsend as the ball ricocheted up towards his arms. Zaha loses out towards De Bruyne, pokes it in field, exchanging passes with Sane. Coming between them though is Townsend, back towards City. Every outfield player for Palace well inside, and I mean well inside their own half. Sterling infield to Gundogan, has De Bruyne in a central position if he wants it, switches the ball out towards the right. Sterling stands over the ball out towards Gundogan, square to De Bruyne, 30 yards from goal, angle ball, it's away from Sterling. Palace are able to clear easily City really struggling to build up any momentum despite their dominance. Laporte, neat layoff from Silva towards Sane with a cross, cut out by Palace. It's beyond Gundogan. Stones gets to it, back to Gundogan again, central position, flicks in by Aguero on the edge of the area, but it's cleared by Patrick Van Aanholt, out for a throw on this near side the City left. Throw taken quickly. City could be losing their 100% record at home this season. And in fact, they've won their last 15 games, kicking off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. That's in jeopardy as well. Sane gets away from Townsend. Gundogan away from Zaha, now with Stones. And he's worked out towards the right-hand side this time, with Sterling up against Van Aanholt, and Myers isn't sure where to go, gets a break of the ball, now runs inside the box, crosses it almost towards Silva, who was waiting to pounce. Cleared by Palace. Laporte, 25 yards out, towards Silva, running towards the byline, goes down against Townsend, who brings the ball away, lifts it over the halfway line. It's overhead though, doesn't find Zaha. Tweet us during the game on at TalkSport Live. 68 minutes gone. De Bruyne. City trying to pull Palace one way and then another. The ball is bent in. Wan-Bissaka clears on mark. Shot comes in. Oh, from Gundogan. Right-footed, whistling past Gaeta's right-hand post. Almost his second goal for Manchester City this afternoon. And it looks like Sterling has gone off for City, and Mahrez is on. The third and final change for Manchester City after 69 minutes. And it just hasn't been one of his best afternoons for Raheem Sterling. But the other changes that Pep Guardiola has made so far in this game haven't really altered the situation for Manchester City. They still trail by 3 goals to 1. And more worryingly still for Manchester City, they're not really creating chances. Sane though wins a throw. Finds Gundogan short towards De Bruyne. Gundogan again waits and plays it to his right. Finds Walker with his yellow boots. City just stroking the ball around, but it's still well outside the area. De Bruyne bending the ball in. Tompkins with the stooping header clears for Crystal Palace. Well, this is the pattern of the game inside the first half hour when City took the lead. Sane tries to cross, blocked by Townsend. Corner number 11 for Manchester City. 70 minutes gone. What can they do here? Sane will swing this away from goal. Left-footed towards the area just beyond the head of Aguero. Mahrez collects outside the area, down the right, hugging the line, forced back towards Walker, switching play towards De Bruyne, 35 yards out, lifted into the area, it's flicked across goal by Laporte. and was twisting his head towards goal, but there was nobody ahead of him to attack it. And it's out for a Palace goal kick. Well, Roy Hodgson was possibly dreaming the impossible dream himself when he said it wasn't going to be easy getting points at Manchester City. But I don't think even he could have imagined this. The ball down the middle, cut out by Palace. Here come Manchester City again. But Palace are more than happy for them to have it just inside the Palace half right now. City trying to stretch play again, this time down the left-hand side. Now with Gundogan to De Bruyne, still finding his match fitness, coming back from that injury layoff. Walker. Now with Stones, the angle pass to Gundogan, still outside the penalty area. And City are just working the ball one side to the other. They're not penetrating Palace. And now they come forward with Townsend. He's got Zaha running through the middle with a disguised pass. He finds Van Bissaka cutting in from the right hand side up against Stones, jinking one way then another. Silva is back. The clearance is blocked though, partially. Falls though for Sane. It will be a free kick for Crystal Palace after all. MacArthur getting the nudge in the back from Sane. And Milivojevic is going to take this free kick back towards Sacco inside the centre circle. Pass though was short and slightly behind Zaha down the far side, so it's going to be a throw taken quickly by Manchester City. 73 minutes gone. Palace losing 5 out of their last 6. Could be getting back-to-back wins for the first time this season with a win at Manchester City. 3-1. And they were losing during the first half when Gundogan gave the home side the lead inside the first half hour. It's all rather pedestrian from Manchester City at the moment. Palace defending well. Jesus turning on the right hand edge of the area. Lost the ball. Falls for De Bruyne, goes down heavily. And he's wincing in pain. Clutching his lower right shin. He's still wincing in pain, but the good news is he is at least back on his feet. Patrick van Aanholt is yellow carded for that challenge, and he actually caught De Bruyne right on the shin. That was a sore one for the Belgian midfielder. Second booking for Palace then, as the time continues to tick with less than 15 minutes for Manchester City to salvage anything from this game, let alone a win. Sane over the ball. Thankfully, it stopped raining. Palace have lined up at least a 4 or 5 man wall. Sane with the run up, bends the ball in and it clips the outside of the right hand post. City so close to their second. Over the wall with Gaeta, well, he barely moved. Cannons off the right hand post. Almost the lifeline City were craving for. And when moments like that happen, maybe it is just meant to be your day. Zaha caught offside at the other end. When you get your moments of fortune, then maybe, just maybe, Palace can dare to dream. Sane swinging a dangerous ball in. It was ahead of Jesus running into the 6-yard box. And Gaeta falls onto the cross, unchallenged. Just rubbing the greasy ball, clears long. Right-footed, well over the halfway line. They're not going to take any chances building from the back, Palace, and you can't blame them. Hectic Christmas schedule. Manchester City staring at their first defeat at home this season. Here's Mahrez with a couple of step-overs, tries to cross, comes off on Holt. De Bruyne hasn't picked out his passes the way he can since coming on. The clearance cut out by Laporte, could win it again. Townsend retrieves towards Zaha, turns away from Walker, still has it. Tries to find Meyer on the far side. Van Bissaka running infield towards the edge of the area, now with Gundogan, low cross in, cushioned away by Sakho. And Palace clear. Only for City to win it once again. With Mahrez in his black gloves, squares it towards Laporte. We just have not seen Aguero since coming on. Or Jesus, who's had a very quiet game as well. De Bruyne out towards Silva. Thought about the cross, plays it short instead. Towards De Bruyne. De Bruyne almost finds Silva with pinpoint accuracy, making the run down the blind side inside the area. But it's with MacArthur. His angled pass is short, cuts out though by Jesus. Sidesteps MacArthur and he's brought down by MacArthur. And he's going to be the third man to be booked for Crystal Palace, who's played in every league game for Palace this year, and he's done his job for the team. So Gundogan, central position, lofted towards the back post. It's headed towards the edge of the 6-yard area by Stones. Palace clear. Meyer with an all-important header stops it going up for a corner at the far side. Silva skims in a low cross, cleared by Sakho. The ball bouncing near the halfway line, almost picked up by Zaha. Well, it's going to be all one-way traffic now, you feel, for Manchester City. Palace, though, relatively comfortable defending this 2-goal lead. Van Aanholt with the all-important clearance, only towards Mahrez, swings it in towards the near post. There with the downward header, though, is Sakho. Back towards De Bruyne. Again, it's swung in. Falling is Sakho towards Jesus now. Spins. Almost finds Aguero. Milivojevic clears. All City right now, but they trail 3-1. The cross into the area. Finds Sane. Left-hander to the area. Tries to cross. Wins the corner. Down his left-hand side. Townsend, almost with raised eyebrows, blows his cheeks. And Sane again will swing this away from goal. Towards the near post. It pings around but falls into the arms of Gaeta. Still, Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 3. It came off Schlupp inside the box. And again, just like Sakho's clearance inside the first half, when that could have gone anywhere. Palace get another slice of luck in front of their goal. But they deserve to be ahead, no question about it. Sane, infield towards Gundogan, first time ball. Tompkins with a header, unchallenged, clears. Now with City in a central position, worked out towards the right hand side with Mahrez, thought about the cross, changes his mind. Back with Walker. Mahrez again. Walker with the overlapping run, it's crossed in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Tompkins clears on the volley. Laporte has at least 20 yards to run into. Short towards Aguero, well outside the area. Surely he needs to be further forward. Walker, just 10 yards inside the Palace half. So Palace fans you can hear singing. The cross in by Silva, flushes across the goal, but there was no one in light blue to attack. The cross, it was slightly overhit in any event, so we've got 7 minutes to go. And City are seriously running out of ideas. And surprisingly for them, they've barely created anything in front of goal during the second half, apart from Sane's direct free kick, which came off the right hand post, lifted forward towards Sane. Oh, he's mistimed it. It's difficult to know. Making the run from the left hand side if he was trying to shoot or cross it for Aguero, but either way he's just scuffed it completely and it ran off the bottom of his foot and out for a goal kick. There's almost a calm expression on Guardiola's face, as if he's already accepted the fate of this game. Laporte. Square towards De Bruyne. City still needing these 2 goals just to get a point, which I'm sure they would settle for right now. Bernardo Silva towards De Bruyne, swinging the ball in towards the ball post. Oh, in fact it's gone in! It was meant as a cross, but De Bruyne has found the top left corner. Manchester City are still in this. It's 2-3 for Palace. The first time cross, it could only have been a cross. It was meant to swing away from goal, and it just crept inside. Gaeta's right hand post and went into the net. Minutes gone, and City, out of nothing, are back in this game. Walker, don't rule them out yet. Now with Mahrez, shot towards Aguero, cleared only just by Van Aanholt. Now Laporte, switching play out towards the left hand side, running across goal is Sane. It appears to take a deflection of the Palace player. It's a corner. Wow, what an end to this game I think we're going to have. Sane then, again, to swing away from goal. Deeper this time, far post, free header from the port, miscues it completely. And the Frenchman may well hold his head in his hands. He was unmarked on the back post, 7 yards out, and he flew off the side of his head. Sacco with a partial clearance towards Mahrez. Dummies the cross. Now with Walker. The City fans in full voice. It's swung in, popped away by Gaeta, and cleared on the turn by Milivojevic up towards the halfway line. Less than 4 minutes ago, the cross on towards Silva. Had it gone to him, he could have had a shot on goal. But Jesus got his head to it, and he didn't hear the cry from Silva. Making the run, ghosting in at the back post. The best pass that De Bruyne has made in this half. But Jesus was stood ahead of him, and he may not have heard the call. But behind him was Bernardo Silva at the back post, and it would have been a great chance for City. Palace have made a substitution on their first. Jordan Ayew coming on for Zaha. And he may not have scored today, but he's done a great job up front for Crystal Palace. Roy Hodgson trying to compose himself. And this may well go down as one of the biggest results for him as club manager. Walker squared towards De Bruyne, lays it off towards Stones, halfway inside the Palace half. Switched out towards the right hand side. Mahrez continuing his run. It's infield again towards Walker. Now with Stones, back towards De Bruyne, central position, gets away from one challenge. Then on a weaving run, finds Bernardo Silva, short though, easily cleared with the downward header from Sacco. Walker again, they come forward, Man City, again down the right hand side. 1 minute of normal time to go. De Bruyne collects with his left, dinks it in short, cleared by Milivojevic. Back with De Bruyne, right footed, doesn't quite find Mahrez, but it falls for him now, outside the area. Walker with a high ball towards the 6-yard area, cleared by Tompkins, now on the left with Sane. De Bruyne, Stones, lifts the ball out, he's going to find Silva. Turns away from the corner flag, back out towards Mahrez in his black gloves. Drill the ball in towards the far post. It's just too long though for Sane. And City are just beginning to find that range with those deep, menacing crosses from either flank. And City have got 4 minutes left to get a point, at least, out of this game. Guardiola walking up and down the edge of the touchline. As Jesus in his own half slips, but still gets the ball out to De Bruyne inside the centre circle. We're now into added time with Stones, and Walker spins and lifts it out towards the right hand side with Mahrez infield to Walker again, puts his foot on the ball, then lobs it in towards the area. Sacco with a header. This time clearance though by Ayew, could fall towards Townsend, who runs for the ball with De Bruyne. De Bruyne gets to it first, back towards Ederson, all in yellow, near the halfway line. Great ball, right out towards the far side, level with the 18-yard line, finds Mahrez. Silva towards De Bruyne, crossing into the area, the header with a bar from Jesus. Well, he scored with a bullet header against Everton last week. This chance was a little harder, but it was no more than And 7 yards out, De Bruyne with a beautiful cross. If anything, Jesus might have been leaning back slightly. And then fell onto his back, claiming it was fouled. So we're into the second minute now of injury time as Andre Marriner has got his yellow card out. And it looks like it's for Gaeta, who's been booked. Now what's happened here? Because at first I thought it might have been for time wasting, and then it is, yes. Because he's got to take his goal kick again. Palace, meanwhile, want to make another substitution with Jason Punchin coming on. Here's MacArthur towards Ayew, up against Ederson. He goes down under the challenge. Marriner says it's goal kick for City. But he's not going to book Ayew either. Play continues. Into the final minute of injury time now. City, one more chance to redeem themselves. It's lifted in. It should be Gaeta's, and he claims it inside the 6-yard box. The cross from Gundogan, who clasps his hands and holds them against his mouth. And we're just looking again at the penalty claim for Palace. There was no contact between Ederson and Ayew. Last chance it must surely be for Manchester City. Gundogan pokes the ball out towards his right-hand side. Sane, beaten to it by Townsend, wins the throw. Added time now as Palace are going to make their final switch with Punchin coming on. Maya will go off. And this is just going to eat up those precious final seconds for Palace. It's been a long, long time since they've won a game at Manchester City. And it could come any second now. De Bruyne throwing the ball towards the halfway line. Now with Silva switching the ball up towards the far side. Up with the header is Stones. It's now inside the area. Up with the header though is Tompkins. Falls for De Bruyne. Tries to put the ball through. Shot comes in. Takes the deflection from Gundogan. And the shot, the follow-up from Sane, falls into the arms of Gaeta. And that must surely be the final piece of action. It was first of all Gundogan, then Sane, and that's it! Crystal Palace have inflicted the first home defeat of the season on Manchester City. Royal Premier League this season. Liverpool's 4-point lead at the top is still intact. Manchester City's 100% home league record at home this season has come to an end as Palace win at Manchester City for the first time in 28 years. It's finished Manchester City 1, Crystal Palace 3. And it all began so well for Manchester City. They took the lead with Gundogan inside the first 30 minutes. Palace hit back with 2 goals in 2 minutes from Schlupp. Then an absolute stunner from Townsend. Townsend almost scored his second before Palace won a penalty which was converted by Milijevic after 51 minutes. Man City throw on Aguero, throw on De Bruyne. They had late chances, but Palace deserved to win. De Bruyne staged a last gasp finish with his shot which was a cross going into the far corner, but Palace have won by 3-2. And now let's go to the half-time show at Stamford Bridge. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 3.
It's gone a long way, and they've had those little bits when they've got themselves out of it. You just wonder, are they going to have a blip as well, and City going to get back in it? But it's definitely not over, but it's only between two teams. That's the one guarantee anyway.
Well, let me just explain the top of the table after these dramatic games. Liverpool, of course, winning by 2-0 at Molineux last night. They have 48 points.